Hi friends, welcome to SSDIY. Today we will design a necklace using Bargain Bead Box Subscription for the month of November 2023. We received 4 of this teardrop findings with the leaf. It's very pretty and I want to design a necklace with this, and also this 10mm Mookaite beads. We have 25 of these beads. So, and then the 6mm matte finish. So I created some dangles with it. I'll show you guys exactly how I created it. I use the short head pins that I have. These are an inch head pins, I believe, and these are ball head pins. The head of the pin is like a ball shaped. So this is a decorative head pin that we can use. And then I just added the bead, the 6mm bead, took my round nose pliers. Okay, so I have you can mark it, or you can use step looping pliers. I just kept it like this and then made basically a loop, and then I continued with the loop. So see how I am placing it, and I just roll and make sure that the loops don't overlap each other, but they sit right next to each other like a coil. I hope the camera is picking it up, right? Is it visible? Okay, and once you reach the bead, you stop. So that's how I created all these dangles. You can also make a wrapped loop. It's totally up to you, but I prefer to use this in this case because it will give a design element also. If I'm making a wrap loop, I will see only one wire going in between the beads that I'm imagining a pattern. So in that pattern I've wanted this to be like this. And you can also use this like for a cha-cha bracelet or so it's totally up to you how you want to design this. And I choose to do this. Let me see, I need to grab a bead stringing wire, which is a 7 strand or a 19 strand, it doesn't matter. Whichever strand you want to use, you can use it. So I'm just going to use this 7 strand bead stringing wire, and these are my big Mookaite beads. So I start with lighter color maybe. Okay, so I'm just going to, I'm also having this 11 seed beads from my stash that I have pulled out. I want to add this a little bit in between the beads. You can the metallic element actually helps. You can also add this one, but this has bigger holes, so I don't want to add this. So there is 25 beads here. In this big one we have 25. So what I'm gonna do here is, hold on one sec, just open it up a little bit. There we go. I chose this golden like very dull gold because it matches kind of this finding, which is also dull. So maybe so I added 3 beads separated by the seed beads, and then a stronger color. Make sure your wire is not kinking. Then you can start adding these beads. See, this beads like a P shape. You can actually straighten this up. Just like that. Then add it to your wire. Then add another bead. See how it looks. So you have like a metallic element right there in between, right? It's a big, because we made almost 3 coils. So this is the look I wanted it to have, so that's why I was doing it. So now I would add one bead in one of this tangle and make sure this tangle sits on top of the bead, just like that. And then a bead. So I will make sure I string all of the beads this way, and I'll come back and show you guys how it looks. Okay, so here I have strung all the beads, and I have 16 beads here in the middle. So that's what you can make more until here, but I want 4 of the beads without any dangles. Okay, and then I have added 11 seed beads in between them. Then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a crimp bead or crimp tube. In my case, you can use anything you want, and then go through this finding which has a perpendicular loop right here, and then come back through the crimp bead or crimp tube. Then push all the way towards the loop and see exactly where you want it to be. Go ahead and crimp it flat. You can use your crimping pliers to do the other way. Any way is fine. So now I want to push all those this side towards this finding and make sure the tip of the tail goes under the bead. Just accommodates nicely. So this is a pattern I'm gonna make. I really like it. The way it turned out to be, it's simple, but at the same time it's nice and elegant. And you take your wire cutters and cut about say 1.5 inches or so. So now again we'll do the same that we did on the other side. Keep your bead stringing wire and your bead strung in a U format, because this is how you are going to wear around your neck. If you do it the other way, what happens is it will be very stiff. This one gives a little bit of a breathing space for it to actually be nice and subtle, like what do you say, nice and flexible, not so rigid, not so stiff. So come back through the crimp tube and a bead or so, and pull the tail with your pliers so that the loop comes small. And then once you're happy with the loop, go ahead and crimp it. You can snip off this excess tail, cut it off as close to the bead as possible. So now we have this to work with, right? You can either add chain. We got chain in the box around here, and then finish it off with a lobster claw or toggle clasp or whatever you want. That way it will be done, the necklace. The thing is, for me this color is a contrast color. This is a very dull gold, this is a very bright gold, which doesn't jive. So for me, I don't want that to be my but if you have a gold chain which matches to this, you can just do that. But since I have added the matte finish too, which really looks good, the matte and the shiny ones, so I still have a lot of matte 6mm beads right here. All of these are left over, so I'm going to make a beaded chain with just not much, just these beads. In between I will add 11 seed beads, and then I will continue stringing this for the length of the necklace that I need. Let me just measure this for you guys, how long this is, so that we can figure out how much more we want. Okay. So this is about 11 inch. So I'm looking for a 18-inch necklace, or maybe 20. So 11 inch will put me, so plus 11 inch plus 1 inch for the clasp, which makes 12 inch, and then we just need 6 to 8 inches for the other part. So for example, if you think 20-inch necklace, then you need 4 inches this side, 4 inches that side. So let's just make that 4 inch. Again, bead stringing wire. I'm gonna string the beads. So since the Mookaite bead, I still have one of the 10 millimeter left. This Mookaite beads are different colors. Just make sure you don't repeat the colors. You just space it out really nicely. That way the look will come out very pretty. So I'm just gonna start with a lighter color. I mean, this is gonna come, so no, I'm gonna start with this mustard yellow, then a seed bead, then a darker color, seed bead, then a lighter color, seed bead. Just like this, I will string the beads and I'll come back and show you guys how we will finish it off. And you can also finish this with a different material, string material. For example, you can knot it in the back. You can do however you want, but I want this time, I'm taking it very simple. So some more 11 beads. You can also use metallic spacer beads. That will also look very good. But I really, and also you can use metallic levanos. You can use that. But what I felt was, I wanted this Mookaite to be the star of the show. I want all the attention on the Mookaite. So if this is already a matte finish, so if I am pulling off a strong metallic color, then it will take away the charm of this matte finish, is what I felt. So that's why I'm using these beads, the ones which are very kind of a dull seed bead. I'll string this up and come back. So I have strung about, say, 8 inches of this 6 millimeter bead. Then what I do is I pick up a crump bead or crump tube, go through this loop, come back, pass through this, push this all the way down, make sure the wire is not crisscrossed inside the bead, because normally tend to. Make sure they are parallel. Then go ahead and flat crimp it, or if you are using a branded like Beadle on Bead Crimp, then use your crimping pliers to crimp. Once you have it nicely crimped, then you can either snip this off, or I'm just snipping off a little bit and push the 6 millimeter bead on top. It has a big enough hole to fit everything, so push all the beads down. I like to divide this into two. So it's about, say, 8 inches. 7 3/4 is what it is. I wanted to start with that mustard color bead and end with the mustard color bead. So that's why I stopped at that point. So here we go. Let's see how much it is. Yep. Here is where I need to, take it off. We have received 2 of the magnetic clasps in this box, so we can use that. So this is what it is. You can use a regular clasp if you want. This again, this color is a little bit clash, but it is in the back of the necklace, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to use that. But again, for this necklace I would prefer a lobster claw. And probably a figure 8 thingy is what I think. Why, if you wanted to wear it long, then a lobster claw will give us the feature to extend this with a chain or so. So I'm preferring a lobster claw here. So I'm choosing to use a lobster claw. So I'm just going to add this chain. The chain is in the back, so it really doesn't matter. So take this and go through the crimp tube and a Mookaite bead if possible. There we go. Pull this tight, pull everything together. So again, we still need a little bit of a gap right here. Now go ahead and crimp it. And then snip this excess tail off. Cut it as close to the bead as possible. And then there's a short tail. Just try to squeeze it inside. But you can have this chain as the backing. So you can just cut it off here. So that if you want to wear this necklace a little long, you can do so. Now the other side. Take your beads on the other side, and as I said, I started with mustard color bead, so I want to start with the same here as well. So add a seed bead. This one. Pick up. Where is my crimp bead? Okay, here it is. Go through this loop, come back through the crimp tube and a bead, pull everything down, go ahead and crimp this, then snip this excess tail off. Push all the beads down. Okay, I have to take off one of the bead. Take a seed bead off. Take one other crumb tube. Okay. Go through the lobster claw. Come back. Pull the crumb bead down. Keep it this way. Go ahead and crimp it. So we have used multiple crimp tubes. 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 crimp tubes in this project. But it's all worth it. It came out pretty. Sometimes you need to make a decision based on that. Bead on bead crimps are very expensive. So I use those for heavy like weight heavy necklaces. These are not that heavy, but at the same time it's a gemstone, maybe a little bit heavy. But so this will be about, say, 2.5 to 3 inches long. You can actually clasp them here, but if you want to add a big jump ring, I would suggest you guys do that. You can actually clasp it this way because this has a big enough hole to accommodate that. But you can also add a jump ring at the end. It's totally up to you. I hope you guys like this necklace tutorial. It's nice and fun to wear, at the same time dressier as well. I really like Mookaite stone a lot, so this one is really good for me. I hope you guys like it too. I'll come up with another pattern for the next necklace or bracelet or earrings. What we did was we crimped here and here. I added all the 10mm Mookaite shiny beads. I separated it with 3 seed beads here, and then I continued with some dangles, which is like a coil made with head pins, ball head pins. I used a 6mm mat for that. I came around here and then continued with 3 seed beads and the Mookaite beads, and then this winding on either side. Then I continued with then again I crimped it here, continued with the 6mm mat Mookaite, separated by 11 seed beads. One end I added the chain, the other end I added the lobster claw with the crimp bead, and made this necklace. If you do like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos couple of times a week. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.